Hi everybody, my name is P and this is my journal. And I used to be an avid journaler, but somehow along the way, I don't know if you have ever experienced this, but I felt like a journal burnout. Like I had no words to write anymore, and but I had 1,000 words in my head. So uh, for the past 2 years, I stopped journaling altogether, and believe me, I had been a very consistent journaler before that. So I decided to downsize a lot of things. I went back to journaling, but I could never complete one complete month of daily journaling as I used to do before. So I just started to rethink the process that I was doing. So if you're interested in watching my previous journals, then of course I can do a show and tell. And this is actually a Leuchtturm that I'm using. I don't know if I've butchered the name. If I have, then please excuse me. I have no idea of the pronunciation. So this is a Leuchtturm that my friend had gifted me, and I like two things about it. Uh, Two being the topmost two. One thing is that it has great pages, and most important one is it is in Leuchtturm. So the pages are wonderful. It doesn't bleed, it doesn't ghost, as we all know, and but this color was not one of my favorites. So what I did was I used one of these dashboards. These are actually planner dashboards. Sometime way back, I think about 6 or 7 years before, uh, I was a subscriber to Coco Daisy. It is a planner subscription box. So they used to send these dashboards, and what I did was I just glued it on the cover. That's it. And I saw that it went very well with the color scheme. So it says um, self confidence. Just a second. So, self confidence is the best outfit. Rock it, own it. So, I think that's very nice, and because I needed that, I was just so down in the dumps in the journaling sense that I was left with nothing to say or write. But that was not doing well, sitting well with me, because I did have a lot of thoughts that ran around my head, and I started very simply, like no fuss, no coloring, no adding textures, no mixed media elements, nothing, just simple writing and putting down a few decorative stickers and die cuts. So around this time, what happened was I was journaling a day on 2 pages. I started adding tip-ins as I usually do, using up a lot of the die cuts that I had in my stash, and I thought this is the best place to use them up. So this is also something I tried. So that's it. And then I move on to the next day. Now, not all of the days I had a ton to write, so I covered up the empty spaces with beautiful stickers and stuff like this. So that's that. And again, as I said, some of the words or the quotes, they very resonated very well with me, so I decided to use this. I used a quote from Harry Golden, and here again I have layered a lot of die cuts, as you can see, and still I was using 2 pages for a single day, and I did not have much to write as it, unless and until something major happened, something revolutionary that I had to put in. So I shifted from 2 pages a day to a day a page, and I am very comfortable journaling on a traveler's notebook size, but this is A5, A4, so A5 size, sorry. So I had a ton of space. I didn't know what to do with that. So again, I was, layering things up, and using a lot of die cuts that came in the Coco Daisy kits, and I had from my past, days when I used to journal a lot. So previously, what I did was I used to make my own journals, and this is where everything went crazy. I journaled till March quite well, and then I stopped journaling. And April went by, I did not touch this journal at all. And then on 16th May, I started journaling again. That was about 2 months later. I picked up this notebook again, and it was bugging me, like it was bothering me a little bit. But anyways, I went on journaling for, I think, for a couple of days. And then again, what happened, I don't know. I just simply stopped journaling for another 2 months. And then in August, 11th August, I remember I came back to this journal, and I was having some sleep disorder. I do have a lot of health issues, and sleep disorder is one of them. This was 11th August, and I couldn't sleep that night. I was having an awful, awful night. And I had this die cut, in my stash. Yep, I'm going back to bed. So I was awake the whole night, and then again, towards the wee hours in the morning, I went back to bed. So I used that, and the next morning, I needed my coffee to get going. So I used this die cut again. I used some of the things that I did. Um, and then this was a Thursday. Now, Thursdays are my usual fast days. I do not eat much. I only eat once. So this is when I do not go for my evening walks. So that's that, and I was at home. Friday again, you can see I just did some layering. I had that frame. I put that little birdie there, and this is an image, picture of my son's cat. Not actually my son's. My son lives with an Australian family. They have 3 cats, and this is the cat he is most attached with. And this little girl loves to sleep in my son's bed. So that's what it's doing. So here, what I did was I tipped in a piece of vellum. So I had printed that out, and then I decided to use it, just to add a little bit of interest into the journal, nothing else. And you can see how simple the page is. I just used a project life card and some, other die cuts, nothing else. It's majorly writing. So so that was 11th, and I'm still uh, sticking to this journal. Now it's kind of, I know that I will be able to do it easily. So this is where I did some journaling, and it was Sunday, I think. Yeah. So it was Sunday, and I was feeling very tired. I had to do a lot of, scheduled a lot of work on Sunday. This is a picture of coconut milk yogurt my son was having. So he sent me a picture. So this is again some layering I did, some tip in. Sometimes I go back and add some quotes to that if they have not been used. But sometimes I keep them just like that. Maybe I'll go back and add a quote or something. So you can see there's empty space at the bottom. Most of the time there remains some empty space. Either I use some stickers, some quotes, or some sketch or something like that, or sometimes I keep it empty. So that day it was raining very much, and I just used those yellow boots. And this was again a Thursday, and I was at home. I was doing a lot of, I didn't go out that day. And this is a free printable calendar that I tipped in, just to add a little bit of interest, nothing much. This was Friday, and I had this die cut, and I've just put this in a frame, and these are some printables that I had. And I think I like this setup, which is mostly writing but a little bit of decoration, nothing else. and it takes off a pressure from me, because I get very overwhelmed, it seems, these days. So what I do is, so I went out on Saturday. I did a few purchases, and I didn't have any car image, so I used this caravan image just to remind me that I had gone out that day. And this was a piece of acetate I had, again a bit from Coco Desi subscription. I used that as a tip-in, nothing else. And this is how it was the Sunday, and you can see it's mostly writing and very little of embellishment. That's okay, because that's how things are working right now. From this page onwards, I started putting down a little bit of color. I used to put down a lot of colors when I journaled before, but then somehow I stopped journaling, and then I stopped doing anything that would overwhelm me. So I started putting in a little bit of watercolor, and these pages are awesome. They took so well to the watercolors. I just splotched down some watercolors, and around this time I was, I had torn a ligament of my on my feet, and it was, so I found that I was still confined in bed and at home, so I used these die cuts, which suggests that I was taking rest, but also I used these happy, Mambi happy planner stickers that I had been hoarding, and also used that die cut. So here again, I used a chair, that you see in the parks, and I was still in so much pain, and I couldn't. Again, that was Thursday. No, I'm sorry, that was a Wednesday, and I used this Get It Girl because I had to do a lot of things, but still I was in so much pain. I've just layered a few die cuts around that square frame sort of thing, and the next day was my husband's birthday. It was 26th August, and I just used those balloons and a little birdie. And okay, so on Friday I used this die cut Get Well, because I was still very sick, and used that one day at a time sticker. And this is the other part of the vellum that I had shown. So this is the other part, and this is the other part. So if you're using A4 size, then you can just slice it up and use it in two parts in your A5 journal. And if you're using a smaller journal, you can use it multiple times in the journal. So again, over here I have used that house die cut, just to denote that I was still very much housebound. I couldn't go out. Again, as you can see, I'm getting a little bit bolder with the colors, and I've used a bunch of die cuts that I had in my stash. Sunday was pretty relaxing, so I used those candles and stuff like that. And Monday I was back to business. I mean, I had my work. I couldn't afford to take rest, so that was that. And Sunday I used this image, and I used a sticker also, seize the day. So that's it. And this was I will be doing a setup video very soon, where I show you how I set up my journal for 15 days at a time, so that I do not have to spend much time when I need to journal. Just add a little bit here and there. So that's how I usually am getting success these days. So I have used a little bit of die cuts here and there. So this is kind of the end of August. So from 11th August I have been consistently journaling in this system, and I think it's working out for me. So I have used another vellum piece, A4 size. I've trimmed it in half. I've used one half here, and the other half I've used here after 15 days. So I know that every 15 days I'm putting in a vellum. Probably I have printed quite a few, and probably I'm going to use quite a few of these. I like how it looks on the page, and yeah. So I will be doing a setup video. Keep watching for that. And if you want to see more, then please comment below. It will be highly appreciative. Thank you everybody for watching this. Bye. Have a great day.